ICC has no jurisdiction over the Philippines as a state. It maintains jurisdiction over individuals and crimes under
Yes, ma'am.
international humanitarian order.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. What the president said is that there is no jurisdiction over the crimes committed by the former president.
Well,
Because we have a functioning police and judiciary system. Unless you submit that we don't.
submit that we don't want, ma'am.
That we don't have a functioning police force.
We have a functioning
or
police
a
force.
judiciary.
We have a judiciary. But what we are dealing with here
You're
is crimes
contradicting your
committed
president,
14 years
Secretary.
ago to 2019. We're talking about a timeline, Your Honor, that we were not even here yet. And that it is very hard. May I continue?
Yes, carry on.
Well,
yeah.
it is very difficult for us. We made our
No, the
commitments.
president made it very clear.
We made our commitments to the United Nations that we would investigate all of these crimes committed during the drug war. And it is not a very easy task, ma'am, because the people that we expect to be cooperating with us were not. So, although we're still doing our investigations on the EJ case, on the extrajudicial killings committed during that time,
Yes, I'm not reviewing the drug war. This is a Foreign Relations Committee hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
But in this statement, the president clearly means jurisdiction over individuals. It's very, very clear. There's no area for quibbling. And if you say there's jurisdiction over individuals, I don't believe that you are in agreement with your president. As a matter of fact, the ICC does not try countries, after all. They do try it.
Our views evolve during times, at times, and I don't
So you
know
do admit
if he
that
still
you-
has the same view up to today, because we are talking about a clip which was done 1.5 years ago. Our minds can change, ma'am. We cannot just stay in one rut and say that this is the absolute, because our minds may change, and we are allowed that by the law of man and the law of God.
Yes, of course. Of course, we all change our minds, and Mr. Secretary. So you are saying that the president changed his mind?
Well, I cannot speak for him, Madam. I cannot speak for him. Your conclusions are really your own, and I cannot adopt your conclusions here.
They're not my conclusions. It's a bold statement, which really...
Well, your statements of belief are your own, ma'am. I cannot adapt to your statements of belief, but I respect them.
The statement of the president is very, very clear-cut. I would like to show also a letter in December of 2023. Do we have it on hand? Can you enlarge it so that it's much clearer? Okay, on screen is a letter dated 15 December 2023 addressed to Vice President Sara Duterte, where the President says that the jurisdiction of the ICC over the Republic after the effectivity of its withdrawal is very much in question, and I'm certain that all the members will echo my views on the matter. Would you like to comment? Anyone would like to comment on the said letter? Is it correct that if this was in fact a work in progress, as stated by Secretary Remulla, as of 15 December 2023, all the secretaries and undersecretaries already holding such positions at that time also viewed the ICC as having no jurisdiction over the country, as stated by the President himself in the letter?
We did not assist the ICC, ma'am. We continued with the very tenor of the letter, that we did not assist the ICC. We never had contact with them.
We'll go
The
there.
investigation that they conducted was through their own methods, and we did not in any way assist them. As said in your letter, we cannot.
It's
we
not
did
my
not.
letter, sir, it's the President.
It's a president's letter. We did not assist them.
I think that's not the question. My question is simply to say that as of that date, all those in the cabinet were in agreement with the president's statement. Is that correct, Secretary Teodoro? As of 15 December.
Ma'am, the President's statement is binding and I defer to Secretary Remulla that we did not, that no government agency, the DND, never cooperated with the ICC as in accordance with the statement.
Okay, and are there any other secretaries who'd like to verify that? We have Director Anyo, Director General Anyo. I believe you are cabinet rank as well, and the NSC sits with the President. Is it correct to say that everyone maintained the same position?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. But we did not assist the ICC in their investigation.
I don't think at this juncture we're asking about assisting the ICC. All we're asking is whether, in fact, you all agree that the ICC had no jurisdiction.
I think, ma'am, what we're talking about here is if it's in the case of the former president, the case was committed while the Philippines is still a member of the ICC.
Okay. I don't know, is there anyone of cabinet rank as well? I'm certain that the DFA will probably hold the same position, that you were all in agreement with effectively your boss as his alter ego, that the ICC had no jurisdiction, as stated in the letter quite clearly.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Yusek. Okay, and then in January of 2024, the President then said, let me say this for the 100th time. I think we've seen that clip before. Can we bring it back? Yes, for the 100th time, I do not recognize the jurisdiction of the ICC. The Philippine government will not lift a finger to help any investigation that the ICC conducts. So, at the risk of really belaboring the point, may I confirm is the DOJ, at least as of early last year, was of the stance that ICC had no jurisdiction and the Philippines would not lift a finger, in the words of the President.
The ICC never had does not have jurisdiction over the Philippines, Your Honor. And we did not lift a finger to help them at all.
So we affirm that we never at any juncture lifted a finger.
Yes, Your Honor.
Also, I think the Secretary of Justice vehemently asserted the same during that time. May we have the PowerPoint, please? Are these your words, Secretary?
Yes. Those are my words.
Right, and there is no jurisdiction, and we have an inherent right to determine our own legal framework and address internal matters.
Yes, Your Honor.
So also there is an assertion that our justice system is robust and functional. Your words, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
However, 10 days later, after Secretary Remulla gave the above statement, on 20 February, there seems to be a slight yet significant change in the tone of the President's rhetoric when he said, I am not certain if we have the PowerPoint. Do we have a slide with the President? I don't approve or deny it, but you know the ICC, haven't done anything illegal. We will do something about it. We are an open country. Maybe clarified as to what the President meant, given that there seems to be a determined change in attitude, that in fact we are an open country. And until they being ICC, do something illegal, wala siyang gagawin para hintuin sila. Parang naiba ang usapin.
I will have to ask what question was asked of the President before I make any response, because I do not know what context the President said those words.
I think it's not unclear. Hanggang may gawin sila na illegal. May I ask the PNP, the DFA, anong ibig sabihin if they do something illegal? Na nanghimasok sila, na may ginawa sila sa Pilipinas.
Maybe I can answer that better, ma'am. An example would be to take an oath of somebody within the Philippine legal system. They are not allowed to do that.
Okay, so until such time as they do something illegal, like requiring an oath of someone being entirely unauthorized as foreigners, is that your meaning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Does this mean that the Philippine government was allowing the ICC to enter and investigate, provided they did not amount to any illegal action?
Nobody ever identified themselves as the ICC when they entered our country, if ever they entered our country. So we did not allow them, if that is the only meaning of your question, we did not allow them, as we did not know any entry of any ICC person in the country.
The president's statement seems to suggest otherwise. We are an open country. So
Yes, ma'am, but we could not-
that there in fact were others coming through.
Well, we suppose that people were coming in and out of our borders. We have millions and millions of people entering our ports and airports, and we cannot ask all of them if they are related to the ICC or not. We cannot do that, ma'am.
Okay, perhaps we can call on Secretary Anyo. Did you have any information that, in fact, the ICC had resumed its investigation? Because clearly there is a pivot in the president's statement. Perhaps you can enlighten us?
Ma'am, as far as the NSC is concerned, we have not monitored any investigation conducted by the ICC inside the country.
So, at no point after the pre-trial chamber authorized the prosecutor to resume his investigation, did in